Hello, good day everyone. Okay, today we're going to be learn how to create raw materials and recipe portions, which is under ingredients and categories. Okay, let we go to access into the inventory S2 systems. Okay, and we go for the maintenance, and this is ingredient and category. So we can see from this ingredient and category, this is of the main and very important part to all the movement for the inventory, right? So here we can see categories and ingredients. So categories you can be see on your left hand side, and ingredients which is you can see on the right hand side. Okay, categories is mean that you can be create all type of the raw material. You can be define what type of the categories you want to be create, and this category is you can be create is for unlimited. Okay, you can be create for unlimited categories. So example you can see from example here, and when I go for here on your right hand side can see as an ingredient one, and if I go and double click go inside, and this is the sample, and this is the screen how the ingredients to key in the informations. All right, okay, before we go for the ingredients portions, let we go for look as a small recipes of the menu, which is go for like examples. This is recipe portions. So examples, this recipe portion is for to creating a chicken recipe. Okay, so to make a chicken recipe, first of all we should know that what kind of the raw materials is going to be used, and at the bottom you can see which is a recipe portion for the chicken rice and the chicken soup. All right, from here we can see three types of the details, which is raw materials and chicken soup and with the chicken rice. Okay, the raw materials which is go for under ingredients, and soup which is a chicken soup it will go under to the half finished product, which is terms we call as a sub recipe, and chicken rice is a full finished product, which is a full menu is including with the chicken soup. So this is what is a basic a simple recipe portions. Okay, now we go for how to input for the ingredients details first. Okay, let me go for information. So here we create examples already create, which is categories, and how to create a categories, which is click to the root and click to the add, and as a basic I will create as a raw materials. Okay, and if you see the lining here is a direct come to the raw materials, this is what we call as a category number one. And other categories you can be create, which is a subcategories under the raw materials also you can be created. So example, I want to be create another raw materials under the raw materials, which is called um, kitchen items, right? And under another raw materials I will be create as a uh, dry items. Okay, and so on you can be still continue under all the categories which is you can be create. So this is how you can be create as a categories. Okay, what is the purpose we create the categories as a two things? You can be order and arrange all the raw material item in the fall into the which categories, and second thing, whenever client side to do the purchase requisition for those item, they can't or they not necessarily remember all the raw materials name. They go for click under the categories, the system will be appear based on the raw materials under which group, right? And also the reporting sections, it can be what they call, it can be show based on the categories. All right, let me move to the go to keying, how to key in the raw materials, which is ingredients. Okay, first I'm going to be go for under dry items. So once I click to the dry items and I click to the add, so let me back to the our recipe portions. All right, we have dry items, and what I can see from here, maybe I can taking up as a chicken and a cube of chicken stock, right? So let me move to the raw materials side for the ingredients. So let I create as a chicken, and name 2 also is automatically appears a chicken, and name 3 is optionals. The type is should be always go for ingredients, and base unit is followed by we what is the recipe unit we going to be used. That is the meaning, that is a base unit, which is a lowest unit. So this chicken is going to be used as a recipe unit in a grammage, right? So we can go for choose as a base unit followed by gram. So once this 3 information, which is a name 1 and type of ingredients and base unit is gram, this 3 is important. So once this 3 is correct, and you just click to the save. Okay, why I'm asking that? Before that, we just click to the ingredients and save. Why am I asking that? Which is a name 1 to key in is a ingredient name, and what is the type and what is the base unit. Once you already save, you can see these ingredients and this gram base unit, you can't edit anymore, right? Even you can't edit or click to here, it won't be function. So that is the important why I'm saying that this tree is a very important before you click to the save. Okay, rest of the information you still can be edit and also can be saved. All right, so next we move to the minimum stock level and maximum stock level. This is minimum stock and maximum stock to indication to the client side, which is how much is the stock is minimal they have, which is appear as a low stock item, and maximum stock is which is go for how many quantity maximum stock they can be store into the outlets or maybe into the warehouse. So example, this chicken minimum stock level I mentioned to them, which is followed by as 2 kg. So when convert to the 2 kg, the minimum stock level and maximum stock level always follow the base unit calculation since it appear into the gram. So as I follow minimum stock level as a 2000 and maximum stock level, which is can be I can be set like 6 kg or maybe it could be 7 kg. So I put as a 7000. All right. So this is how you can be create a minimum stock level and maximum stock level. This cycle is meaning that this raw material item is due for ordering, just only for the references only. Daily, weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly. Bi-weekly is mean that 2 weeks once. So this is optional. So normally go for none. And go for yield. All right. Yield is mean that whenever we purchasing the chicken, right, it's normally we won't be use the skin and leg and so on, which is we go for normally we call as a wastages, but it's not its actual wastages. Is we can be set as a yield followed by actual meat is going to be used for the kitchen and keep it their stock, right? So or maybe before we start to the chef is start with the cooking. So the yield you can be set as like percentage level is the estimations. Examples, the purchasing is 1 kg of the chicken with the whole of the chicken. So whenever the chef need to be cooked, they need to be remove all the skin and necks and those unnecessary the part, right? So estimation after they remove it all the unnecessary part from the chicken, actual weight it can be have like 900 grams or maybe 800 grams. So when come back to the yield, you can be set as a percentage level as go for 90%. So when come back to the 90%, is mean that the system will be automatically calculated. Your actual meat is a 900 gram. So the based on the balance of the 10 of the percentage, which is assumed that is 100 gram, it will automatically go for the under the yield. So that is it can be viewed into the yield report. So later part when we go for referring to the report section, we'll be showing that. Okay, shelf life days is those like maybe it's a similar go for expiry date. It is a references only is something go for like an egg. Okay, you keep it the egg. How long the egg it can be used. So that is a shelf life days. And delivery type here you can see is a warehouse or direct. All right. This chicken it can be delivered by which part? I mean the which persons. It can be delivered by supplier or it delivered by Suntrade Kitchen or warehouse. So if these items, it can be delivered by direct, which is only for supplier, it can be used for direct. Or if can be tick for the warehouse, is mean that we can be still have an optional, this item can be delivered by warehouse and also direct. So we choose warehouse, and here you can select PO, PR. Okay, this select applicable function is applicable together if delivered by supplier. An example, if I tick PO outlet, is mean that purchase order outlet, and PO is mean that purchase order HQ, and PR outlet is mean that purchase requisition outlet, and PR HQ is mean that purchase requisition HQ. Mostly giving an option, giving an approval to the PO HQ and PR HQ. Now, this item, is possible is giving to allow to outlet people issue a purchase order or need to issue a purchase requisition. Okay, so if let's say it can be allowed to issue a purchase order directly by outlet, we just take it for the purchase order outlet. All right, and here we can be see the physical count setting is mean that site stock count settings, it can be go for daily, weekly and monthly. If let's say you have a daily stock count, not necessary you go for weekly. If you only go for the weekly stock count, not necessary you stick to the daily. So either one, but definitely need to go for monthly. Mostly chicken, if let's say they want to count by daily, you just stick to the count by daily and just untick for the weekly. So once this portion is done, we just click save, and on the left hand portion part is already saved. Okay, now we move to the calculation part, which is a stock keeping unit, which saying that SKU. Now, why we need to create a SKU, which is it can be easy for to do the orderings and what kind of the unit and which measurement unit they need to do ordering. And another things, the multiplier is meaning that the system need to be calculation based on what is the SKU unit they are receiving from the supplier, and the moment they posting to the good receiving, the system will automatically calculate based on the multiplier. All right, so now how to create the SKU. Okay, since the base unit we already pointing to the gram, mostly the chicken we purchasing in by kg. So we click to the add SKU, and we need to choose by kg, which is mentioned kilogram, and the multiplier, the calculation always based on the base unit. So if I'm pointing to the kg, is a basically convert to the 1 kg is equals to the 1000 gram. So this is what I need to put 1000 here. So based on the grammage value, the packaging size you just put as equal to 1 kg, and order of multiples is just always pointing to the 1. All right, now here also you can be select applicable function as a similar, go for the select applicable function here. All right, what is the difference with this main select applicable function for this call checkbox, and under for the base unit of the stock keeping unit kilogram, and this select applicable function. All right, this main applicable function is for main item of the chicken, right, for to do the ordering part. And when you see for this another select applicable function, whenever you do the ordering is a chicken, which is I'm already giving approval into the purchase order outlet. So whenever outlet issue a purchase order, what is the SKU unit they can be do a ordering to the supplier. All right, so if they can be ordered into the kg, as usual, as I said, PO HQ and PO outlet to be tick on the checkbox. So after you tick in the checkbox, then you click to the save. Okay, now here you can see the differences, which is gram and kg, and you can see this all the base unit, which is a default, it's not a tick on the checkbox, and manually, which is just now we created in the kg, we already create in the checkbox, which is a PO and PO HQ. This is meaning that the system allow to the client side, I mean for the outlet side, they can be order in the chicken under the purchase order concept, and they only capable choose by kilogram. they can be ordered by unit into the kg only. They are not able to view or able to choose into the grammage unit. So that is meaning what is the purpose of the multiplier. So this multiplier is very important to do the system calculation of the your costings, your movement of the transaction, your recipe portion. Everything is starting from into this multiplier. All right. Okay. Now, and you can see this default SKU is meaning that is the purpose of default SKU. There is a possibilities which unit you want to be viewed into the all the certain reports, not all the report, in the certain reports which unit you want to this move see all your movement. So example, if I choose for kg, I click to the kg and tick in the checkbox and click to the yes. So the default SKU fall into the kg. All right. So the first part of the ingredient side is already done, and next we go for the under the supplier sections. Okay, now we click to the supplier, and earlier the learning process that into the supplier section we already create into the supplier details, right? So now we need to know that this chicken is delivered by which supplier, right? So maybe I choose into the Tongwa Sdn Bharat and click to in the checkbox to here, and it will come back in the supplier details. All right, you can be used the purchasing unit, which is go for the kg, and minimum purchase quantity always follow 1, and minimum purchase price, this is your initial price. How much is your often you're purchasing the chicken is a 1 kg. So estimation I put is a 8 ringgit, and you can see the price set effective price and date is meaning that you can be set for the future price, but those like market items is not necessary. You can be set in the always the price is changing. So in the another of the learning section, I will show you how you can be automatically update those market items. So this is only for the learning process that how to you can be set for the future price. So maybe another items I will show you how to use the set effective prices, and you can see that applicable to all. Okay. Do you remember that during for the outlet setting we already create as a group? So that grouping part I'm already create is a grouping for west, east, south. So this applicable to if in case I'm choosing in the west. So it's meaning that this Tongwa Sdn Bharat, it can be delivered to the chicken is applicable to the west group outlet. So if assume that under the west group outlet have 5 outlets, so it's meaning that this Tongwa Sdn Bharat supplier is only applicable to deliver to the west group outlet only. So that is the meaning that earlier is creating for the outlet group. If not necessary, we just maintain into the all, and this is how you can be create as a supplier informations. So I back to the price here. Examples, this price is going to be increased on the 1st of May. So we choose 1st of May, and I choose the price. It can be increased as a 8.5, which is $8.50. So I choose which is 1st May, and it's set. So how the system is functionable to update the pricing? The moment system is fall on the 1st of May, automatically system will picking up as 1 kg price is $8.50. So the system will do automatic calculation in the background of the system. So the price of the 8.50 is still maintained, the $8 is here, but the system backend calculation is followed by once reached on the 1st May, it will started to calculate $8.50. So this is how you can be create for the raw materials for the supplier information. So once done, you click it to OK and you save it, right? So finally, we need to know how much is the standard unit price. This standard unit price also is an initial price. You need to be followed by grammage. So examples, the supplier price is $8 per kg. And if let's say we need to convert to the grammage value as follow as a per gram, and we need to do a simple calculation which is followed by, as you can see from here, per kg is a chicken is $8, right? So if we picking up as $8, and which is a per kg, which is 1,000 gram, it's converted to the grammage, and divided by $8 divided by 1,000, and you will be get as a 0.008. So it's mean that 0.008 cent is followed by per gram of the chicken cost. That is your initial cost. So somehow whenever you do your delivery in a kg, it doesn't matter how many kg you are receiving, the system will be automatically picking up as 0.008 cent as per gram. And even if we view from your report, the system will let you know how much is your grammage is movement. And this standard unit price and also this kg price, the system will be automatically is picking up or change, followed by first in first out cost model that we call as a FIFO. So whenever you do the movement, which is a first in first out cost model and batch, the system also will be automatically update the costing in case the prices is different compared to their supplier price, where we already set is the initial $8, right? So that is how the system is doing a calculation automatically, followed by first in first out cost model calculations. All right, so this is how you can be create as for ingredients raw materials. Right, thank you.